listening to Out Late with David. True stories of coming out later in life. And now here's your host, David Cotton.
Hello. Today on Out Late with David, we have Mark D'Agostino, retired United States Army officer, lieutenant colonel, and father of three. He's going to talk about his coming out journey and his life. He came out at 67, and also how he is now repositioned and started his life again here in Palm Springs, California. Thanks for being here today, Mark. I really appreciate the time.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, that's great. And a great view. I wish we could all see it. We got the mountains, a little bit of clouds today and sun, but the sun is out. It's a beautiful day here for sure. So I mentioned you came out at 67. Can you kind of take us back to what was it all of a sudden you said, I have to live this way?
Well, let's see. My ex-wife and I separated in 2021. And then we separated. I came out here to about a place in Palm Desert, and she stayed in LA. And then while I was out here, a year later, we finalized the divorce. And then I decided, well, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life alone. So I decided I was going to go out and find someone to date. And so I went out one night and I went to a happy hour and did not feel really comfortable, approaching women or anything like that. It just felt like I was starting again in high school or something. So I really was not attracted to any of the women that I had seen or I had met. And so then I decided, well, you've been married for 43 years to a woman, so maybe it's time to do something different. And so I made a Grindr profile and ended up finding a guy that got along really well with, and we dated for a couple of months until he left town abruptly, and then was back on the Grindr circuit, if you will. But I just did not feel comfortable with women.
Was that the first time you'd had that discomfort feeling?
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to do the rest of my life like this. I didn't think it was going to make me happy. And growing up, I never thought I was gay, but I never felt like it was something that I couldn't handle. Or
did you have thoughts when you were younger that you might be or attracted to men or boys? Or
maybe so, but I don't remember any specific examples. It was just, just something in the back of your mind that you sort of push back because, this is the 70s and 80s, and it was way before any gay pride or anything like that was around. And it's just, and coming from a Catholic family, it was just something that I just pushed to the back of my head. And
what were you pushing to the back of your head?
Being attracted to men or finding the male form very inviting, and so I just sort of just pushed that aside, and ended up I got married, as I said, 43 years ago. Well, 40 whatever now, and had three girls. 3 children, and so that was my life. That was what was set in stone.
So your husband, dad,
Army officer. Yeah, everything was sort of incompatible with a gay lifestyle, so especially the Army. The Army would not have been a safe place at that point in time, and so I just pushed that all aside, and then when there was a chance for me to start over, I did. And I sort of refer to myself as, I go through upgrades, different versions of myself. Mark 1.0 was the father, the husband, the uncle, the son, whatever. Mark 2.0 was when I got divorced. And then 3.0 is when I came out, and 4.0 is where I'm at right now. Very comfortable with my life and feel like this is the right place for me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know what Mark 5.0 will look like.
Yeah, and more and beyond. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not afraid of change. And I mean, growing up in the Army, you had new jobs every 3 years. You moved someplace every 3 years if you were lucky.
You and I can relate to that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're even at some place at the same time and just didn't know it at the time too.
Yeah.
Based on we've had conversations about our careers.
Yeah. We ended up moving in 23 years 15 times.
Yeah.
We had longish assignments and then short assignments. So yeah, it was quite interesting, but it was not a place. It was not a place to come out, and I wouldn't even known how to even do that.
Right.
There were no examples for me. Because there was always, you never talked about being gay, or in the Army, everything was, derogatory, and
well, I wrote this today for the website. I haven't posted it yet. It's the 3 questions that I heard, and you probably heard the same ones. I'll read them and see if you remember these questions. You get them every couple of years when you'd have your security clearance renewed.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one would be, are you now or have you been a member of the Communist Party?
No. Yeah.
Remember that question?
Yeah.
And the other one was, are you now or have you ever been a member of an organization that advocates the overthrow of the U.S. government by force or violence? Mm-hmm. And then here's the third one, the zinger. Are you a homosexual?
Yeah. And I would always be able to answer that truthfully, saying no, because I had never acted on it. I'd never acted on it before. And so, yeah, I didn't have a problem with my security clearances.
As you, I was the same way. I felt like I'd be safe with a lie detector.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back in time, looking at my brain, there was some probably inkling in there that I just had buried.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it was much easier just to bury it than to bring it up. And because who was I going to talk to? My wife? Yeah. My kids?
And how did burying that affect you? Maybe it's your job or your life. Did it have any impact?
I don't think so. I don't think it did. No, I don't think so.
I know for me, I became very driven because I was getting that esteem of getting rewards for hard work instead of me as a person. They got from me as a performer.
Right. Well, I mean, I've always been a type A personality, and the Army feeds on that. You give it. They'd say, give it to Mark because it'll get done.
There you go.
And I always took care of everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had the biggest platoons. I had the biggest project at NATO when I worked for NATO, and I was very successful throughout my career. And yes, I was driven. I was very focused, which is one of the reasons I believe we got divorced, is because I was very tunnel vision and very focused on other things other than my wife at the time.
Okay. So Mark 3.0, I'm still stuck there. You're in a bar. 3.0, you're not getting a lot of vibes for what you see, and you end up with a grinder profile. That's a big jump. Was there anything in between that realization in the bar and the grinder profile?
No, it was more of a, well, I tried women, and that's great. That was great, but I want something else. And that was it, really. There was no deep thought or anything like that behind it. It was more of a leap of faith, and it was just something that I thought that I would enjoy. I would like to find out about, and because it had been nagging me, not throughout my life, but certainly in the later years. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I should unbury that piece of me and see where it goes.
Did it affect you emotionally, or how did it affect you emotionally when you came to that realization?
It was like a weight off my shoulders. It really was. I just felt more in tune with myself. And it was very exciting because it opened up a whole new world that I had no idea existed. Well, I knew it existed, but I had no idea how it existed, or, how to maneuver through that world. And so I just came out a year ago last week. So November 7th is my out day.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And Saturday is my 1-year anniversary with my boyfriend. Yeah. Steve and I have been together for a year.
You wasted no time.
No.
Which is a lot of questions guys have is how do you date and find someone that you connect with so quickly? Or just at all, period. They come out, they nice through that, and it's like, okay, now I'm by myself. What do I do now?
Yeah. Well, I had gotten through the phase of I'm by myself. What do I do now? I volunteered at different organizations, worked on boards with charities and stuff like that. But it wasn't what I was looking for, and I wanted companionship. And I just, my Grindr profile, I put that I was not looking for a long-term relationship until I was in one.
Yeah.
And it's worked out really well.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
So when you're having those thoughts, becoming 3.0, we had the daughters. What were the thoughts related to this is who I am now? Do I tell them? Do I not tell them? How will they react?
Well, how do I tell them? Because I was always going to tell. I was always going to come out because, I'm just not going to live that way. I'm not going to live in the shadows, live in the closet. No, thank you. It would not have suited me. And so I was concerned about how to come out, when to come out, and how accepting people would be of me and my family. Those are the only people I cared about was my family. My brothers, I have 2 younger brothers and an older sister. I have 10 nieces and nephews. I have 5 great nieces, nephews. And so I come from a really big family, a big Italian family. So my parents are both gone now. So I never got a chance to come out to my mother, which I really, really would have loved to, because I know she would have been accepting.
Beautiful.
And I came out to my aunts and uncles, and after a while, it got to the point where, okay, now what is my responsibility here in coming out? Do I have to come out to every person in the world, or do I come out to the people important to me, and then the others can find out as they do? And I chose the latter. It's like these are the people I'm gonna come out to. You can tell whoever you want, and they'll know if they follow me on Facebook. They'll know that I'm gay, and especially when they see the pictures of my boyfriend and I, And I was very concerned about how my kids were going to accept me, not if, but how. Whenever they were growing up, I always told them that I don't care who you bring home. You can bring home a girl. It doesn't matter to me, as long as you're happy. And to a person, everybody in my family that I told, they said, Dad, Mark, Uncle Mark, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. So I feel very fortunate in that regard that my family was so accepting. And I feel like I got off easy coming out, where, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it would have been much more difficult for people to come out, and the health implications as well, with AIDS rampaging and everything else, it would have been much, much more difficult. So I look at the men that have come out, and I just look at them as heroes, because it was very, very courageous. I don't think it was courageous for me to come out. I think it was about time. And I didn't think it took, I guess, a certain amount of courage to overcome the anxiety. What are they going to say? What are they going to, how are they going to accept me? That kind of thing. But I don't really consider it a courageous act on my part. And it was very selfish as well, because now it's me. Mark 3.0 is focused on Mark, making a better life for Mark. And that's what I wanted to do.
You said they didn't react in a negative way. How did they react? Or what was the response?
As I said, everyone said, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. My sister said, I'm not surprised. And which sort of threw me back. It's like, well, why did you fucking tell me? It would have been much easier for me, excuse me, you can bleep that out. But my kids were very accepting, and I think the way I approached it, we were all together for our birthday, I think, in Phoenix, and I told my kids beforehand. I said, I want to find some time where we can talk together by ourselves. And so that sort of set off alarm bells with the kids, I think. Oh God, Dad has cancer, or this, going that way. Because I have had in 2017 I had a stroke, and so they're always, are you okay? You okay? On alert, yeah. So I think that sort of made them think, oh, is this going to be bad news? So then, I'm not dying. I'm just gay. In fact, I'm living.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm living.
I'm 3.0 and going forward to 7, right?
Yeah. You know it. No holds bar.
As a life coach, I'm committed to help you discover the passions in your life and help you map a course to achieve the things you really want. Together, we will unwind those persistent self-doubts that are holding you back. You'll begin to see your passions more clearly and set achievable goals. Throughout your journey, I'll be there to challenge and encourage you in moving forward to discover your authentic self. For more information about my personal life coaching services, or to arrange a complimentary consultation, visit davidcottoncoaching.com.
You're listening to Out Late with David.
So now you're here, you're 4.0, you moved in this nice, thank you for letting us meet in your
of course,
gorgeous location. So how did you get to this point then?
Well, I bought a place in Palm Desert as 2.0 after divorcing, and we were living in Long Beach, so I took my half of the proceeds and bought my place in Palm Desert. I had always wanted to live in Palm Springs, but quite honestly couldn't afford it. Couldn't afford it at the time, and so I went where I could, and then met Steve, who lives out in this part of town as well, and I got tired of driving back and forth all the time, and if, I wanted to wear something that was at my house and not at Steve's, then I'd have to go back and get it. It was just too much of a hassle. And I wanted to live in Palm Springs. And so on a fluke, I was driving by this development and I pulled over, went into the model. I told Steve, I said, come and meet me. And he came out here and we went to the model together, and I fell in love with this floor plan. And I told Steve, I said, I'm moving. He says, when? I said, as soon as I can. And so did all the paperwork and everything else, and find myself here, waking up in the morning to gorgeous views and just being where I want to be. So I feel very comfortable here. I'm not starting over, but I've got a lot of new furniture. So trying to, not get rid of the past, but I don't want to bring that baggage forward. And so I can go ahead and get rid of that, and then I'll get my own artwork, do things that I want to do, put the house together the way I want. And so here I am.
Do you feel in this 4.0 stage of life, you're asserting your true self and your true identity? I mean, you alluded to it by just even on the physical furnishings, but beyond that, emotionally, intellectually.
I think the hardest thing is that life has gotten really busy. Socially, it's very busy.
In a good way?
In a good way. In a good way, but I haven't been able to spend as much time with my daughters and my grandchildren as I want to. And I've got one daughter in New York City, in Manhattan, another one in Bend, Oregon, and then one up in the Bay Area. So, yeah. So
like a triangle.
Yeah. So trying to, it's impossible to see them all in one trip. Well, not impossible, but it'd just be impractical. And I've been doing a lot of traveling. Steve and I have been doing a lot of traveling, which eats into my time, into my family time, and I like my kids. My kids are awesome.
Did this shift in your life change any priorities?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about me at this point. I'm trying to make me happy, me complete, but I don't want to sacrifice the others for myself, because then it's selfishness. What I'm looking for is some authenticity in my life, and share that authenticity with my kids as well. Let them know who I am. Let them know that I'm happy, because I know that concerns them. And I'm safe. I'm happy, living my best life. Really am.
What is missing to make you complete?
What's missing? Time. I feel like I just don't have time for everything I want to do. Everywhere I want to go, people I want to be with, it just doesn't seem like I have enough time. And there's certainly not enough time in the day. And since this is the end of November now, it's proven there's not enough time in the year. It just has flown by.
So what do you use then to guide your movement towards 4.0 and 5.0 to manage that time?
Well, that's going to be the big question. That's going to be time management on my part I'll have to work on that, because I don't want to alienate myself from my family. Family is very important to me. It's always has been. And I have as I mentioned, a big family. I've got 26 cousins on one side.
That's just amazing.
And then the other side is really small. It's only 17 cousins.
My Lord.
Yeah. So
I guess larger than all of my family when you add up everybody.
Well, my ex-wife's family, you can count them on one hand. And, so it was quite an adjustment for her to be around so many people. And I'm one of the oldest of the 26s, so I've changed all their diapers. And, they give me a ration of crap or something like that. I said, I've changed your diapers. Shut up.
Yeah. Oh. So I know you've actually reinvented at some level from what you told me before yourself once you got here in this stage. What are the major things of reinvention, hobbies, interests, business endeavors, those types of things?
I'm starting a side gig right now. And this is one thing I need some time for as well to promote myself. But I'm starting a side gig that I call Nono's Kitchen. Nono is grandpa in Italian, and that's what my grandchildren call me. They call me Nono.
Okay.
My mom was Nonna. I'm Nono, and my side gig is I teach people how to make pasta.
No.
And I go into their homes and bring all the equipment, all the ingredients, and we make pasta. About 8 of us, up to about 8 people I can handle. And we'll sit there, we'll make the pasta, and then I'll serve a 4-course meal. And and I just wish I had more time for that, because it takes a lot of work I want to practice different shapes of pasta, different kinds of fillings, different sauces, and I just don't think I've done enough to move that forward.
Was this part of 1.0, or is this something that...
No, this is strictly 3.0.
Okay. Where did all the energy and desire for that come into 3.0?
My grandmother, my mother, my aunts, I cooked with them all the time. My aunt has her own cookbook. She's a published author. She's an amazing artist. She did those 2 up there. And she's always been, an inspiration for me. And I've always loved to cook. I'd be by my grandmother's side, and we're making bread and we're making pasta. She's showing me how to make sauce, and then you ask her questions like, well, how do you know when it's done? Well, it'll be done. It's just, you just know.
It is.
So, I struggle with that sometimes, trying to remember how she did it. And because people ask me the same thing, how do you know when it's done? I said, well, taste it. Is it done? Yeah, good.
Right.
So I've always had a passion for cooking, and I did a lot of cooking with my granddaughter. I bought her first set of knives. She's 5 years old. I bought them 2 years ago for her.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, my daughter doesn't let her use them unless Nono is there. And so
That's a special bonding activity.
yeah.
too.
Oh my gosh.
Connection. I mean,
Oh my gosh. I'll go to their house and she'll greet me at the door, give me a big hug and kiss. And she says, okay, no, we need more focaccia. We need cavatelli. We don't have any more sauce. And Daddy really likes the focaccia, so we have to make focaccia first. And so we'll sit there and we'll just bake, cook, make pasta, make, big pots of sauce. And then I fill the freezer and then I leave.
yeah,
But we cook together. She has her own apron and chef's hat.
that's got to be so cute.
Oh,
It's so cute.
it is cute. She's a doll.
Building memories like that. That's mean to me. That's
Well, I have those memories with my grandmother, and I want to be remembered when I'm gone. And like, oh, remember when we did this? That kind of thing. And
really sweet.
And that's what I want to do with her.
So through this reinvention of yourself and the 3.0 to 4.0, what type of advice would you have to others? Because that's what our listeners are, in most cases, for what I know, are primarily men. Don't have a lot of feedback from women yet. Primarily men that are scared, terrified, and they don't know what to do. They're just afraid that the world will collapse if they acknowledge who they are.
Yeah. The world won't collapse, first off. Yeah. The world is bigger than any one individual. It's going to be, it's tough, making the decision, but it's once you make that decision and you do come out, it's just a weight is just lifted off your shoulders. And for me, it felt natural. It felt like this is the right thing for me. And you'll know it. It's just like my grandmother says, you'll know it when it's done. You'll know it.
It's kind of like the sauce.
Yeah.
When you do it, yeah.
Yeah. But it is difficult to confront your family and to let them know. Friends, friends, if they don't accept me, then they're not really friends anyways.
Did you have that happen?
No. As a matter of fact, my friend group is huge now with, my boyfriend has a very big friend group, and that he's pulled me into very willingly, and we have a great time. We keep really busy, and it's a lot of fun. Great guys, a lot of great guys who are there and very supportive of me, and want to know my story and how I'm doing, how I feel, and I appreciate that. I really do. It's very kind of them to take an interest.
What did you learn through this whole process about yourself?
That I'm a lot stronger than I thought.
Mm.
I'm a lot stronger. I can do. I mean, after being in the Army for 23 years and the way I was raised by my parents, I always knew I could do whatever I wanted. And now I am doing whatever I want. And, if I make a mistake, okay, I'll recover. But I find that I'm stronger than I thought.
Mm. How did that strength come through?
Just making the decisions and then following through on those decisions to come out, to tell my kids in a certain way, to tell my ex-wife in a certain way, and then my nieces and nephews and brothers, and then as I told each one, I felt more and more confident. As a matter of fact, I was when I came out to my brothers and sister, nieces and nephews, I was at my brother Andrew's house, and he and my other brother Nat were out barbecuing, and so I sort of finished my martini, and I said, okay, this is it. So I went out there and I said, hey guys, I want to talk to you, and I told them, and as I said, their response was, as long as you're happy, we love you. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. And then with that, I just felt invigorated. And then I just went inside and started bringing one person out at a time and just started going out, coming out to them individually, to my nieces and nephews. And with each response I got, positive response, it was just very strengthening. And it just made me feel loved, made me feel like I could do anything and still be accepted.
The big M on the chest for Supermark.
Yeah.
Can do anything.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for sharing your story today, because we know that stories help others who are on their journey, and this will provide someone some comfort. They'll realize that they have more strength than they realize, because that's a common theme people understand. So thank you for taking the time today in your beautiful home. Of course, spending some time today to share your story. And wow, it's really, I can't wait to see what 4.0 and 5.0, since we live in the same town.
Yeah.
A chance to stay in touch.
Yeah. I don't know what the next rendition or version is going to be, but stay tuned.
All right. Well, thanks
There's
again.
more to come.
And that's all for today on Out Late with David.
To find all episodes and resources for coming out later in life, visit outlatewithdavid.com. That's outlatewithdavid.com, your go-to source for inspiration, support, and real stories.
To hear more episodes, visit outlatewithdavid.com. And to learn more about personal life coaching services, go to davidcottoncoaching.com.